Okay, let's get started. Now, what I want to do is, I want to show you how to do electron configurations. Can you see this? Is this all right? Yes? Okay, now, there are four areas to the periodic table. Okay, but first of all, and this is in conjunction with your reading for Chapter 5. We kind of do Chapter 4 and 5 together a little bit, okay? Now, it says, that's not going to help. So, there's S, P, D, F. Those are the four subshells. We looked at various models of the atom. Clear? And think of it like this. Think of it sort of like an extension of the Bohr model. The Bohr model had the nucleus in the center, yes? And then he had the electrons orbiting the nucleus, like the sun and the planets, kind of like the planet model, yes? So here's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, etc. Correct? Yes? Now, what modern atomic structurists say is that you can look at it this way, that each one of these orbits was made of sub-orbits. Yes? They're made of sub-orbits. So the larger orbit is called, we're going to call the principal orbit, the principal level. Clear? And that word principal will become very important. Yes? That principal level, that main structure. I'm not going to call it an orbital, because the word orbital has many meanings. But it is indeed orbiting. But this first energy level, this principal level, energy level is made of suborbitals. That make sense? Now, as you get farther and farther away from the nucleus, what happens to the number of electrons that have to be organized around the nucleus? It becomes greater or smaller? It becomes greater. Very good, Salama. Okay? So these levels, these energy levels, these principal levels are going to become more or less complex. What do you think? Just say it out. I know that it's Sunday morning. You had a long weekend. I know it's deadly. It's 8:06 a.m. It's awful. I know, but try. Okay, give me your best shot here. So, do you think it's becoming more or less complex as I go away from the nucleus? More or less. Raise your hand if you say more. I'm not even going to ask you to talk. The whole class raises their hand. Excellent. So these levels, these energy levels are going to become bigger, and they're going to be made of more suborbitals. Does that make sense? So far it makes sense. Intuitively, at least, it makes sense. Okay, very good. Well, this is the structure. Now, and this is all on a video that I made on electron configurations, okay? You have the first energy level, okay? We're going to call this N for principal energy level. We're just going to call it N. And that will become very important later on. Is that okay? That's the first level that contains an electron. And that's going to be made of an S sublevel. There's four, can you see that? Does that show up? There's four sublevels, S, P, D, and F. And the first one is going to be made of an S. Now, let me show you this. Does that come up? That comes up on there? Yes? Yeah. Okay. Armindo, does it come up? You're staring at it like you can't see it. Are you okay? I know it's early in the morning, right? Yes, okay. You see, Each sublevel is made of these little spheres. You actually call these little spheres orbitals. And in each orbital you can put 2 electrons. You can put 2 electrons in each one of those little tiny orbitals. And they're going to spin oppositely. One's going to go this way and one's going to go this way. Can I do it? Hard to do, isn't it? Okay? They're going to go in opposite directions. So if I can put 2 in each orbital, what's the capacity of S? What's the capacity of the S suborbital? It would be, how many electrons can you fit in there? Laura, very good, 2. Excellent. So I can put 2 electrons in that. How about the P? How many electrons will be able to fit in P? 6. Very good. How about D? Anybody? Mr. Hahn? How many? 10. Very good. Okay. Anybody else? F? Alex, what do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can put 2 in each. So it'd be 14, right? And you said 12. That's okay. It's early. I know it's early in the morning. Kind of weird. Okay. So the capacity is going to be very important, correct? Right in your book. Yes? These orbitals are also in your book, but not as detailed as this. So S is made of 1, P is made of 3, D is made of 5, F is made of 7, and you can put 2 in each. So far, so good? I'm not asking you to do anything, but I know that the learning of electron configuration, it does not take place in a vacuum. If you don't know anything, you can't think about it. Yes? So you have to get some data in there to make you a little bit more knowledgeable before you start doing a lot of thinking, okay? I'm not asking you to think yet, okay? Okay, so you know that. Okay, good. Now, the first level is going to be a 1, right? And that's going to be made of an S. The second level is going to be made of an S and a P. The third level is S, P, D. And the fourth level is S, P, D, F. Okay? So look at this very carefully. The first time you see an S is in the first level, right? Yes? Now we're getting farther away from the nucleus. The first time you see a P is in the second level. See how the second level is a little more complex? Look at the third level. An S, P, D. So the first time you see a D is in the third level. The first time you see an F is in the fourth level. So far, so good? Are we all right with that? Yes? All right, let's turn that back on, get the periodic table back. Okay, now, there's 4 distinct areas to the periodic table. We'll do a color coordination thing here, okay? And there are 18 columns, okay, 18 columns. If you look from left to right, 18 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 7 rows, and then there are 2 rows down here that are for the F's. Am I off the screen if I go to here? Am I off the screen?
No.
No? Am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, the 4 areas are this. Blue. That's going to be the first, that's going to be this. My shoulder hurts a lot. That'll be the S. 2 columns. Let me ask you a question. What's the capacity of the S sublevel? What's the capacity? What's the capacity? 2. 2 columns. Yes? Yes? Now, do you see any area on here where you have a nice convenient number 6 for P? Anybody? Anybody see a nice convenient section where you have 6 columns that are kind of together?
Yeah.
Yes, Syed. Excellent. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be for P. Excellent. Now I want everybody to know that you're the ones that picked out P, not me. I didn't tell you where P was. You did. Yes? Understood? Now, is there any place for D? Any place where you have 10 convenient columns? As Baselin, you look like you're, I think you figured it out. Where is it? Right in the middle. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. So this was P, right? This is going to be D. Okay, yes? Now, is there any place here where you have a nice, neat 14 columns? That would be F. Well, let's see. There's only really one thing that's left out, right? Yeah, exactly, the bottom. It's kind of sticking out like a giant white elephant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this down here is going to be what section? The F section, yeah? Make sense? Yes or no? Pretty good? So much for color coordinating it, isn't it? I use blue for everything, right? But S, P, S, D, P, F, yes? You see that? Now, where do you see S for the first time? In principal level 1, 2, 3, or 4? Look at your notes. Do you remember? I just did it on the board. Anybody? Yeah, 1. So if this is P, if this is S, what would this be? 1S, 2S, 3S, 4S, or 5S? 1S, right? So 1S, 2S, 3S, 4S, 5S, 6S, 7S, yes? Where do you see P for the first time? What level? What level? Anybody? Second level, yeah. And this, isn't that the first P there? Isn't it? So what would that be? 1P, 2P, 3P, 4P, 5P, what P would that be? Just say it, come on. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're wrong, and I'll just move on. Anybody? Laura? And let's see, Laura. Laura and I are going to figure this out. Let's see. We're going to use some logic here. You ready? I said that you only see P for the first time in level 2. Didn't I say that? Okay. We identified the P section, correct? Now, you remember enough from the periodic table to know how this is numbered. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the first P is going to be that, boron. Look at the table. B, right? Over on the left? Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be the first row. Yes? So the first time you see P is in the second level. Here are 7 levels. So that would probably be 1P, 2P, what is it? 2P, right? You said 1P. Would that make any sense? Is P part of the first energy level? No. Is it part of the second? Yes. So what would the first time you see P, what would it be? What would that be? 2P, right? And that would be, what number comes after 2? You can do this. 2P. Everybody together, what's that? That's together? 2P, 3P, 4P, 5P, right? Now, where do you see D for the first time? What level? No. The third level, right? Didn't I put that on the board? Shall I put this on the board again to refresh your memory? It went 1 is S, 2 is SP, 3 is SPD, and 4 is SPDF. Isn't that correct? Didn't I say that? Yes or no? Okay. So isn't D, don't you see D for the first time in 3? Yes? Where is the D section? Right there, right? So how many D's do you have? How many D rows do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So where do you see D for the first time? What level? What level? 3, right? So what would this one be? 3D, right? Yes or no? What would this be? This is F. The first time you see an F. So what would that be? That's right. Very good. Excellent. 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 So this is what happens. Let's take this off. I just had that on there because of glare. Okay, we're just going to deal with the glare. Okay, so let's erase this. Now, the next thing I want to look at is, before we go on with this, yes, is how do you number the periodic table? Does that sounds like kind of a silly question? Is how do you number it? Anybody? Where do you start? Where's number 1? Upper left, right here, right? What's number 2? So that's number 1. Where's number 2? Over here? Where's number 3? 3 is over here. And what's this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Yes? So instead of numbering every square, which you will have to do, by the way, let me go down to here. What is the number for this element right here? What's the element? Look it up in your book. Go get books, look it up. Take your time. I want to know the number for that element right there. What's the number of that element? It's what? What's the name of the element? Anybody? What's the symbol for the element? BA. What does BA stand for? The pronunciation that I am most familiar with. You know, you never say to an international class that this is the pronunciation of a word. Everybody pronounces it differently no matter where you are. Gold is 56? Is that what you said? What is it? Yeah, not gold. Barium. BA. BA. Barium. This is 56, right? Where's 57? Where's 57? Is that 57? Where's 57? Down here, right? 57, 58. What is this down here? What is it? 70. Is that right? 70. I don't know how your book numbers it. I'm going to go off screen just for a second. Let me look at your book. Yeah, that's right. Good. So this is 70. So this would be 71. 72. Is that right? And what would this number be here? What would that be? What number is that? 88. What element is that? What is it?
Radium.
Radium. Yeah, they used to put that in watches. Made the dial glow. Yeah, little tiny bits of radium they would put in watches to make them glow in the night. And then, where's 89? And what's it called?
It's below 57 and it's actinium.
Very good, Ray. Very good. Actinium. Excellent. 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 So, that's 89. What's this over here? 102. This is going to be 103. Correct? Are you okay? And this is 118. Now you can number it. Yes? See how that's a little bit weird? Now, some periodic tables are going to number it a little bit differently. Well, they're wrong. Okay? Relative to Professor Seaborg and the Nobel Prize, this is how I think he would number it. Okay? You don't like it? Tough. Okay? So make sure that that's 71, 103, 57, 89, 70, 102, and then everything in between. Yes? The last one is 118. The book only has, I think, one of this or this in it. But there's 2 or 3 of these that they discovered in the P section. So they've isolated them. Okay? All right. All right, now, we know how it's labeled. Therefore, when you're doing the electron configurations, you go like this. You go across like this, then 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 you go here, then you go down to here, then you go across, then you come back up here, then you go across, then you go here, right? Then you go here, then you go up here. See how to do it? Yes? Yes or no? Okay? So, let's get together a format. So that's the filling. All you need, oh, by the way, when I give you quizzes on electron configurations, I don't allow you to use any notes. Yeah, isn't that weird? The only thing I give you is a periodic table that I put on the board, a blank periodic table. Okay? Blank. We don't use elements until chapter 6. Okay? And there's a reason for that. Okay? Now, so what's this over here? This is going to be 1s, right? That's the 1s section. Yes? Helium is part of that. Yes? What's this? This is 2s. This is, what section is this? Come on, guys, you can do this. This is going out to every corner of the planet. What is it? 2p, very good. 2p. And what would this be over here? 3s. 3p. What's this? 4s. What's this? 4d? 3d. Yeah, that's it. 4p. What's this? Right? Then this is going to be 4f, right? 5d, 6p, 7s, 5f, 6d, 7p. Easy? Yes? Yes? Okay. So that's going to be to here, to here, to here. This will be over to here, to here. And this will be to here. Easy? Want to come up and take a picture? You're welcome to. That's the filling. Clear? Now, how do you know the order of filling? You know the order of filling because you know how the table's numbered, right? So what's the order of filling? 1s. I'll do the order of filling, and you think I can count 1 through 118, right? You can count, right? Yes? Because this is 20, 21, right? This is 59, no, 56, 57. This is 88, 89, right? Yes? So I'll give you the order of filling and see if it makes sense, okay? Yes? I'll stand behind the camera and talk to the camera and everybody in here, okay? See if this makes sense. And I want you to be honest. If it doesn't make sense, you have to say, blah, blah, nonsense. Okay. All right. It goes 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5P, 6S, 4F, 5D, 6P, 7S, 5F, 6D, 7P. That's it. Does that make sense? Everybody? Now, it may not, may not like it. You may not like how I cooked the steak. You may not like it medium well. You may like it rare. Well, you know what? Tough. These are the rules.